Every time I hear of an accident now, it makes me think about my case. You always think it happens to other people. I'm part of the statistic now. My name is Rejean Pommainville. I'm an ex-dairy farmer and I do now cash crop. I am the third generation on the farm, so there's a lot of history. On the 17th of July 2009, we decided to unload some hay in a machine shed. My two sons were there and a friend of ours that came to help us. I was coming out in between the tractor and the wagon, so I decided to start climbing. And I went on the steel structure and I started going up. And as you can see, after a certain height, you got no more support from the steel structure. So I grabbed the top bale. Top bale wasn't supported. So I grabbed it and I fell in the back. I fell high enough to break my heel. The heel is it's a bone that's fairly solid, but when it breaks, it shatters all in 1,000 pieces. Like it's almost like Humpty Dumpty. Everybody came down and everything and says, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I tried to get up about 5 minutes after. I said, "I'll be okay now." No, the pain was even worse because the swelling started right away and everything else. I mean, I knew then, I says, "Holy, something happened here, something happened." The next morning, I ended up in the hospital in Ottawa. It was two surgeons. It took over 3 hours to put me back together because it's like a puzzle.
Fortunately, there is a lot that can be done to prevent farm injury. A safety program of some type will, A, reduce the likelihood of an injury, and if there is an injury, the severity could be much less than it would have been if there was nothing in place. Rejean's story is very fortunate. It was a devastating injury, but he did recover and was able to continue working. However, that's not the case in many accidents on farms.
And when I fell on the ground, my head almost hit the hydraulic of the tractor. So this could have been fatal also, because this is hard steel. I mean, it doesn't let go.
Safety is particularly important in the farming sector because you're dealing with a lot of high hazards with very vulnerable workforce, and a workforce that is tied into the community in a way that if anything happens, it affects not just the farm, it affects many farms and many individuals' outlook.
A life changed forever. Physically, dairy is a very demanding job. So after my accident and when I realized that I would never be the same, the decision was then taken to sell the herd. I've done this all my life and then nothing ever happened, but in hindsight, it was preventable. To take a ladder to go up, it would have taken maybe a minute. If I know I'm going to do a lot of walking, I use a cane to help my leg. I cannot bend very easily, so it's another aspect that affects me also.
I would encourage everyone in the agricultural industry to contact associations like the Canadian Agricultural Safety Association. By simply accessing the website, they'll be immediately drawn to all kinds of information, free downloads, low-cost, no-cost solutions. I
consider myself lucky. I'm not the fatalities that happen all across Canada, all across Ontario. I consider myself very lucky, very, very lucky. I'm doing this on front of the camera here, but it's not easy to talk about your accident because it was preventable.